Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14, then we will no longer be infants tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching. Instead, verse 15, speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of Him who is the head, that is Christ. The pathway to maturity is the ability to wed together truth and love. And what amazes me about Jesus is that Jesus never struggled with this. Wherever Jesus went, He was both truthful and loving at all times, and there was never a debate in His head, whereas I feel this all the time. Let's say you invited me over to your house. I wouldn't show up. I'm an introvert. I don't want to be there, but it would be very kind to be invited. But if I did come over and you cooked dinner for me, at the end of the meal, I would be considering myself, am I supposed to be truthful or loving? Do I tell them what I thought about the meal, or am I kind in some way? And I feel this internal tension between these two concepts. But whenever it comes to Jesus, they are all the same. Because truth and love with Jesus really is the two sides of the same coin. And here's something that we often don't understand. That truth without love isn't really truth. Oftentimes it becomes a weapon that we're using to brutalize everybody else. We're trying to beat them over the head with the truth that we have, in no way showing the compassion of Jesus. And the amazing thing about Jesus is He never uses truth now as a weapon to harm somebody else. Instead, He uses truth almost like a scalpel to heal other people. And then the concept of love without truth is a lie. It's lack of substance that's there. I read a story the other day that, imagine if you went into your doctor's office and everything went fine, checkup was great. He's like, all right, I'll see you in 6 months. So 6 months later, you went back and you walked in, you were feeling horrible, terrible, you couldn't understand it. And you said, Doc, I don't know what's going on. And he was like, I was afraid this might happen. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, your blood work 6 months ago, it showed that you have leukemia, but I didn't want to tell you because, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. Well, that'd be foolishness. That'd be malpractice. It'd be the appearance of love in a way that actually wasn't loving in any way. It's actually using us. Why? Because it lacked truth. When you and I possess what we think is love without any substance of truth, we're actually lying to others. Well, at the same time, I saw another story about a doctor in which he's an ER doc, and oftentimes people will come through his ER and not make it because of their own foolish choices. Maybe they've overdosed, they were driving drunk, they were texting in some way. And he's told the story that whenever they die and they didn't have to, and it really was their foolish choice, that he can sometimes get angry because he's about to have to go out and tell their family of their foolish choice. And he says, whenever he feels that anger within him, before he goes out and tells the family, he gets the patient's name, pulls up his phone, looks on Facebook, and he looks at their pictures. And then he begins to see the shirt that just got cut off this patient. He sees the concert where the patient got the shirt, the necklace that is now in a cup beside the gurney. He sees that necklace in multiple pictures of the patient smiling and all that. And whenever he gets a good sense of who the patient is, then he goes tells the truth to the family. What's he saying there is, I want to make sure that I tell this truth in love, that I don't use it in a brutalized kind of way. Within the Christian community and circles, there are a bunch of people who love to use the truth to harm. It's truth without love. It's not really truth. It's a weapon. And then there are other Christians who love to proclaim the idea of love, but they actually don't have any truth. It's a lie. It's a lack of substance. What would happen if we would literally marry together love and truth in such a way that it would mature us and mature others? That is the way of Jesus.